Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my podcast. I don't know what episode this is. I probably should have checked before I hopped into the fucking video, but we're recording a podcast. I have not uploaded a podcast in about 2 months, it feels like, maybe even more than that. And I said I was going to upload this weekly. Now that we're back on track of our schedule and life is back to normal, we can upload this weekly from now on. But don't take my word for it. That's just my intention. I always say that because I never stick to the promises that I keep. I always say I'm going to do things, but I never actually end up doing it. And I got to stop with the arm movements and stuff because this is mainly an audio thing. Now, because I haven't recorded or uploaded a podcast in a very long time, I'm going to have to explain to you guys what this is about, just for like 2 minutes. I know most of you already know, probably all of you know, but if anyone's new to this and they have no idea what the fuck is going on, like, what is this to the channel? I haven't seen this on the channel before. Now's my time to tell you because I haven't uploaded this in a while. So, basically, guys, this is something that I should be doing on a weekly basis. It's something where I talk to you guys about what's going on in my life. I talked about things that's going on in the world, talk about things, anything, literally talk about, the way I said literally just then, literally talk about anything I want to with no worries about production quality apart from audio and stuff. But I mean video quality, I don't care about that. I don't care about how my face is in the frame of the camera. I don't care about how I look. I don't care about anything about being entertaining. It's purely all I care about when I'm doing the podcast is talking and trying to be just have a chat with you guys, basically, although you guys can't talk back to me, obviously. In the comments you can, etc. And maybe one day I'll start doing these live and we can talk to each other via the chat. But it's literally kind of just the thing that I like to do, and the reason I'm doing it is because of the Smith Plays. A lot of you already know that I'm a massive fucking fan of the Smith Plays, and I listen to all of his podcasts fucking religiously. So that is pretty much the main reason why I do the podcast. Now, before I carry on, I'm just going to quickly check if the audio is okay, and yep, the audio is fine. Now, in my previous videos, I had some problems with the audio. If I just minimize that because we don't want that to fuck anything up, I had problems with the audio. There was a lot of distortion, and if you look at my Hello There video, which I uploaded, this will go up tomorrow, so if you look at the video that I uploaded 2 days ago, the Hello There video, you'll know that there was a lot of distortion in the mic, and I don't know what was wrong, because the gain on this microphone is at the lowest setting, which is basically the little twisty thing that makes it so that the mic doesn't pick up noise from a long way away. I'm pretty sure that's what it means. Like, the higher the gain, the more sort of noise is going to pick up. So if the gain's at the highest, it's going to pick up all the background noise, etc. But I set that to the lowest, and I wasn't sure why there was distortion. Then I realised in Audacity, the program which I record my audio, I had a, what's it called? The input level for the microphone was fucking too high. It was, I guess, actually the highest setting possible, and I didn't know that. I don't know if I did that by accident or if I did that thinking it was going to be good one day and then completely forgot to change it back, but that's what I did, and that's the reason why the mic audio was fucking appalling in my Hello There video. But now hopefully that's sorted, and hopefully this podcast is sounding beautiful in your ears. The mic's nice and close, so it should be sounding good. Guys, this is my podcast. I'm not going to do the same intro because I've just literally talked about that. I'm now here, and as standard, normally I have a coffee, but today I've got my G Fuel, and as you guys know, I drink this occasionally just if I'm feeling tired, and I am feeling tired because I didn't get much sleep, and I've just been out, and I just came back, and I got work in about 3.5 hours, so I was like, I've got to record a podcast because I said I would, and I got so much to talk about. And normally, sometimes my podcasts don't hit an hour because I lack topics and stuff like that, because I'm just not that experienced with podcasting. And you'll find that I'm not really good at podcasting when you compare myself to like Joe Rogan or all these other people that do podcasts, like really good podcasts, and like Unit Lost, or like, for example, the Smith Plays is pretty good at it, but Joe Rogan's like the main podcaster, as far as I know anyway. His podcasts are incredible. The Joe Rogan Experience, and if you enjoy podcasts and you like these, then I definitely recommend going to see the Joe Rogan Experience. Well, listen to it. Obviously don't watch it. Well, you can watch it if you want, but they're made to listen to, which is why they're on iTunes and stuff like that, which is where I listen to them. And if you guys are sitting here watching this saying, oh, like, I'm interested in what he has to say, but I could not be fucked to sit here for an hour and a half and just watch someone talk, that's fair enough. I would not do that either. So what you do, my friends, is you get yourself a phone, for example. My phone's smashed to fuck, or you get yourself an iPod or something, and you can download this onto your phone or iPod very easily. Or you could just play it from your phone via Wi-Fi or data. I don't know if you want to use data, but if you play it through Wi-Fi, you can literally just put your earphones in and you listen to it. You can play, if you're a gamer, like play a game of zombies, play some Rocket League or something, and you can listen to this. For me, normally, I listen to podcasts while I'm at work, or while I'm sometimes editing a video, or sometimes even when I'm in a game of zombies or something solo, and like, I just fancy listening to a podcast. I normally listen to the Joe Rogan Experience. That's if the Smith Plays hasn't uploaded a podcast, for example. Those are the two main podcasts I listen to. I listen to Drew's podcast, Drew's Plays. He has a good podcast. JT Gaming's just started a podcast. He's only got one episode out at the moment. I think I'm hopping on to the next episode with him. I'm just waiting to see like when we arrange that. So guys, I'll be on that. I'll let you guys know as soon as I'm on that podcast. And yeah, I'm also going to be doing a podcast with Andy123 Son. He's one of my subscribers. I'm going to be doing that with him very soon, hopefully. We've tried to arrange a date, but we just can't, like, both of us are just so shit at, like, sticking to that date. So we're going to have to, like, really get that sort of down to a T and arrange it. But yeah, I'm sitting here with my my drink, which makes me basically have energy and gives me the ability to keep up this podcast. It doesn't. I could do the podcast without it. I'm not reliant on fucking caffeine, I'm not reliant on drugs when you think about it. It's weird to think that this is a drug. Like, this is actually, I'm taking a drug to help me. Like, it's kind of weird. If I was here snorting cocaine off a key, it'd be a bit of a different scenario. But because it's caffeine and it's accepted, it's okay. Obviously, for obvious reasons, because cocaine can fucking kill you. Like, cocaine's really bad for you. But then again, caffeine's not great for you, I don't think. Like, this is definitely not good for me. I know that for a fact. It's got a lot of caffeine in it. But when you think of things like pre-workouts and stuff like that, they're always like they got so much caffeine in them. Like, my mate that I used to work with, I used to work with someone who then became my mate. He's a lot older than me. He's like 27, 26, something like that. His name was Tom. And I started working, and I used to work in this office and take like technical calls and stuff. And he was like a bodybuilder. He wasn't like massive when I met him. He's a big guy, but he wasn't like massive bodybuilder, steroids now. He doesn't do that shit. But he's into bodybuilding and building his body and stuff, and he's quite an animal at the gym. And he takes this supplement called Ripped Freak, which is like a caffeine supplement, a bit like this. So this, for example, I know it's not good for me. I know I shouldn't take it, but it's not going to fucking kill me. So I take it every now and again, and it's just nice. Like, I try to minimize my consumption, but something that I do. It's one of my, what do you call it? I'm going to say dirty secret, but that's just fucking weird. It's one of the things that I like, doesn't matter. Anyway, this has got for caffeine. I'm not sure how much caffeine is in each serving. It doesn't actually say. And I don't want to stare at this for too long. It's probably boring as fuck for you guys. Quite surprising that it doesn't say. I'm sure it does say. I'm probably just being blind. But no, I'm not seeing any caffeine reading on this. But I'm pretty sure it's a lot. If I looked it up online, I could probably find it. But then again, I'm not really going to bother doing that. But there's a lot of caffeine in this. Not nowhere near as much as it. Well, probably somewhere close. But not as much as it. No, I can't see it anywhere. Servings per tub, fucking 40. It doesn't say caffeine. No, it doesn't say caffeine anywhere that I can see. Maybe on this one it does. Nah, I'm not going to bother. But basically, it has a lot of caffeine in it. Not as much as a pre-workout, because pre-workouts have caffeine. They have something else which is called creatine, I think it's called, which basically makes you like your muscles work better or something like that, make you stronger. They got some other things in it. This has got things like things with a T. What is it? It's in the focus complex, tyrosine, I think it is, or something like that, tyrosine or tyrosine, I don't know how you say it, and that basically just like increases your focus and stuff like that. So they got things in them, but you know, something that I take occasionally to help me record videos and stuff like that. It just gives me the energy to like go for it, and yeah, it's good. But anyway, back to my mate. He used to take a supplement called Ripped Freak, and it had an unreal amount of caffeine in it. And I tried it one time. He like let me try it, and I tried half a scoop, I think it was. He takes 2 fucking scoops per workout, as far as I know. That's what I've seen him take anyway. And I took half a scoop, mate, and I was off the fucking walls, mate. I was like, this is insane. I wanted to go to the gym. I was pumping. I was fucking like, wanted to smash some weights out, mate. And he takes this 2 scoops, mate. I'm sure he's obviously a lot more tolerant to it because he takes it so much. But, like, it's crazy when you think about it. It's so strong that you're not allowed to have any other form of caffeine throughout the day. You can't even have a cup of tea throughout the day because that's just too much caffeine. It's too much caffeine as it is. So let alone adding more, it's gonna fucking kill you, because I'm pretty sure caffeine can kill you. You can overdose on caffeine, but you gotta take a lot. But it can be very bad for your health, caffeine. I'm not really too sure what the side effects are. Obviously you crash. Supposedly you don't really crash on this, and I never really crash off G Fuel, but I crash off coffee and stuff like that, which is why I kind of prefer this, and it tastes nicer. Coffee I don't really like. Like, I have a coffee here, cold fucking coffee that I had this morning that I haven't moved yet because I just can't be asked to clean. That I just like, I made, but I just don't really like coffee too much. I used to like it quite a lot, but recently I'm just like, nah, I'm not really too keen on this. So I drank a bit of it, I just left it, now it's cold. But anyway, guys, stop talking about caffeine. I'm just saying it's weird that this is a drug. Like, it's a drug that I take to increase my energy and to make me more hyper and more more able to talk and to make videos, etc., to go to the gym, whatever like that. It's weird how it's a drug, but it's so accepted. Like, you give caffeine to like a 10-year-old. It's just weird, isn't it? But, you know, that's just the way it is. Anyway, moving on to more important matters. We've got a lot of things to talk about, guys. I need to talk to you guys about my Spain holiday. There's things that I heard in some podcasts that I felt like I should talk about and add my twist on. So it's going to be quite an interesting podcast. This intro's been long as fuck. It's like about 10 minutes already or something like that. But if you're new to the podcast, then that's you know that's how it goes. We just talk about shit. And if you're sitting here watching this, like I said, that's not like, you do it if you want, man. But I wouldn't recommend it. I'd honestly recommend just downloading it. I mean, hopefully sometime in the future I'll maybe get it on iTunes or something. But obviously the podcast needs to get a lot more popular for me to even bother doing that. I don't know how much you need. I don't know how you'd go about that, but hopefully it'd be so cool to get it on iTunes or something one day for free. So you just download it, you can listen to it. Like, that's what I do with Joe Rogan's podcast. You listen to it for free, just download it and listen to it. And I just listen to it while I'm working, and it honestly makes my job so enjoyable because I'm cleaning, but I'm getting so much information. And his podcasts are a lot more information rich than mine are. Mine are more just talking, and because I'm only fucking 18 years old. I just turned 18 like not even a month ago, so my knowledge on the world and everything that happens in life and fucking, like, in his case, like, Joe Rogan's got, like, dimensions and all this shit, like, all the shit he talks about, and, like, I don't have that sort of knowledge. He's, like, 40-something, I think. I'm really not too sure. Maybe in his 30s, I'm not too sure, but he has a lot of knowledge. So listening to his, you feel like you fucking read a book after you've listened to it. It's amazing. You come out with so much knowledge. Listening to mine, you come out with just entertainment, hopefully, and a bit of knowledge and motivation, or whatever I feel like I can deliver in each podcast. And I'm gonna drink more of my fucking cocaine. Imagine if I sat here snorting cocaine. Would it be accepted? Probably not. Probably all comment like, "What you doing? What you doing, mate?" But nah, I don't think I'd have cocaine. I don't think I would. I probably wouldn't have cocaine. But yeah, I'm interested. I'm interested in every single drug. I'm interested to see what mushrooms is like. I'm interested to see what DMT is like. I'm interested to see what ayahuasca, whatever it is, or something like that is like. All these drugs, like, I'm so interested, but the risk over interest probably isn't worth it. I don't know. Fuck those guys. Don't go take drugs. Don't take drugs. It's probably not good for you. People can take mushrooms, I've heard, and they have these trips and they see shit. And I've heard of one of the side effects of, like, taking psychedelics, like mushrooms or DMT or something, is that you say you have a scary ass trip and you see, like, a demon or, like, something like some gland in your brain or something that activates these drugs, and you fucking see shit, mate. And it's apparently sometimes it can be really eye-opening. It can open your eyes to, like, know that there's so much more. My phone should not be on. I apologize very much. There's so much more to this life and to this world that what meets the eye, because obviously our eye can only see what light reflects on. Like I said, guys, I'm 18 years old, alright? I don't know a lot about this world at all. I know fuck all, really. But I'm just telling you guys what I am pretty sure that I know. So take it with a grain of salt. Don't listen to me and be like, fuck yes, he's right. You can. I mean, I believe I'm right, but probably best to do your own research before you take what I say and tell other people. Sorry for coughing, man. I just, like, fucking breathed in air and spit at the same time. Probably shouldn't have said that. It's a bit disgusting. But anyway, so these psychedelics, people take them, and a lot of people say Joe Rogan's a very, very big fanatic of it, and he's like, yeah, you should take psychedelics and stuff because it opens your eyes to, like, just unbelievable things. And that's why I'm like, fuck, I want to try that. But then you hear people that say, I've tried it and I saw some shit and it scarred me for life, and I get flashbacks of it. Like, I don't know what it's called. I think it's called flashbacks, where it's like something, there's a name for it, but it's basically when you see something fucked up, really fucked up, and you keep seeing it throughout your life, and it keeps coming back to you. And I'm just not really keen to have fucking Gary the Demon stepping into my room every night. I'm not really keen for that, mate. So I don't know, guys. I don't know. Just I know a lot of you are young anyway, so I probably shouldn't even be talking about drugs in a good way, but I'm just being truthful with you guys. Like, they tell you all throughout your life, like, drugs are terrible. Do not ever go near drugs. Drugs. When in reality, there's a lot, like, there's a lot more worse. There's worse things than, like, drugs, man. Like, I know, like, consumption-wise, maybe not. But, I mean, you're giving all these people, like, for example, for example, marijuana is a big one that people always, like, they're trying to legalize marijuana everywhere, like, not governments, but, like, people are in America and stuff, they're really going for it. Like, there's so many campaigns and people fucking petitions and shit, I'm pretty sure, trying to legalize marijuana. And I agree, marijuana should be legalized everywhere. I'm verging towards agreeing that all drugs should be legalized everywhere, because I don't believe that a government can sentence you to prison for consuming a drug, for consuming something. Like, I understand that, and I don't think they can really if you consume. I think, I don't know, different laws in different countries, obviously, but I think it's more about being in possession of it, because if you're in possession of it, then you have the capability of dealing it, and the fact that you could be dealing it, and people get ridiculous sentences for dealing drugs. I understand, obviously, that drugs ruin lives. Heroin, for example, completely ruins lives. There's people who get hooked on heroin so much to the extent that I heard a story of someone that was pumping themselves with heroin while they were giving birth, while they were in labour. Probably not like giving birth, but while they were in labour. And their baby is addicted to heroin because she was a heroin addict while the baby was inside of her. The baby obviously got used to heroin, or I don't know how it works, but that's what happens, mate. People take drugs while they've got babies inside of them because they're so fucking addicted, and they probably know they shouldn't. I'm sure there's some people who don't give a fuck and they're fucking scum and they should die, in my opinion, because you're putting a baby at risk. You're putting a baby, an innocent baby that has done nothing wrong, most innocent, pure. Oh man, it's fucking disgusting, mate. Honestly, if someone's absolutely addicted to a drug and they literally because I'm pretty sure you can get addicted to the point, like I said. Take it with a grain of salt. This is just what I'm pretty sure I believe. I'm pretty sure you can get addicted to the point where if you stop taking it, you could even, you're risking death. I'm pretty sure. Or at least risking very bad illnesses, withdrawal symptoms, and just horrible shit. So you got yourself in a dilemma where you're taking something so bad for you, but if you stop taking it, your body's gonna fucking go fucking haywire on your ass, mate, and start being like, where the fuck's my cocaine, you cunt? Where's my heroin? You know what I mean? So in situations like that, people are taking it while baby's inside of them. Yes, you are a fucked up person if you're taking a drug while you have a baby. But it's different when someone's taking it and they don't give a fuck. It's off topic though. What I'm talking about is drugs. Anyway, we're not going to be on this for long. I wasn't even planning on talking about this, but we started talking about my fucking drug here, which is a drug. Caffeine is a drug. So I'm taking drugs. I am currently consuming drugs. Whenever I have a beer or alcohol of any sort, I am consuming a deadly drug. I'm consuming a lethal drug, which is fucking worse than marijuana, probably worse than like mushrooms and things like that when you think about it, because mushrooms aren't really bad for you. They just can fuck your brain up. They're obviously bad for your brain depending on the trip you have, but they're not really, as far as I know, unless you take some like laced shit, like if you buy some mushrooms off the street or something, they're not actually bad for your body. It's more just the way they fuck your brain up. And to be fair, I'd rather it be bad for my body than my brain. I don't want my brain touched, honestly, if I'm going to be honest. That's why I'm very fucking skeptical about ever trying these psychedelics, although I'd love to experience what people say is enlightening and eye-opening and amazing. I don't feel like it's worth the risk of how it can really fuck your brain up, and it can. So it's important to be aware of that. But then again, you have proper advocates of it, but you have advocates of anything, really. You probably have advocates of rape. So it's, you know what I mean? So it also tastes amazing, man. It's fucking bad. Like, oh well, I really don't have it much, to be honest. Like twice a week, maybe at most. Definitely don't have it daily. Fuck that. Anyway, guys, so yeah, no, I'll just finish off on that topic. So yeah, I personally believe, like, marijuana should 100% be legalized. I believe mushrooms and that should be legalized. Psychedelics should be legalized. There's no reason why they shouldn't be. They don't ruin lives. They can well, actually, no, I take that back. I think they can. I think they can ruin lives, but I don't think they can ruin, yeah, no, they can ruin lives. I don't know. I'm not like a drug expert, but from what I know, it's psychedelics. They're more of just a fucking experience, man. But then again, I don't want to make it sound like, oh yeah, they're amazing. They enlighten you to the world, because I don't want to convince you. I don't want to make you guys think that it's okay to take them, because it probably isn't. And when you're an adult, maybe you make your own decisions. And if you feel like you're very comfortable taking it, because a lot of the times when you take a psychedelic, as far as I know, or with like marijuana, for example, which I do know, because obviously you guys know that I have smoked marijuana before when I was younger. You take these drugs, and for example, I probably told this story before, but for those of you who haven't heard it, the first time I ever tried marijuana, probably should just call it weed. Marijuana seems like too many syllables. Marijuana, 4 syllables, unnecessary. Weed, 1 syllable, saves time. That's it. That's fucking 3 seconds of my life gone. and an extra 10 seconds for talking about it. But the first time I ever took weed, I was probably 14 years old, so way too fucking young to go near anything. But that's just the way it is. I was hanging around with some people who were smoking it, and I knew some people who smoked it a lot. And obviously, I was like, oh, they're smoking it a lot, they're fine. My 14-year-old brain didn't know any better. So I was like, fuck it. And I'm not saying weed is bad. I'm honestly not. If you're an adult and you're smoking weed, I honestly don't think that's bad at all. I really don't think it's bad at all, which is why I believe it should be legalized. I don't see why they can, how a government can stop people from consuming a fucking plant when you can drink alcohol or when you can smoke tobacco. It makes no sense to me, but that's just the way it is. And there was obviously a lot of reasons. They tried obviously banning alcohol before, and it didn't go too well from my little knowledge of history. I couldn't really tell you guys the details of that, but I know that it didn't work. And yeah, so weed should be legalized. But I'll give you guys my story. And I'm not saying take weed, especially if you're under the age of 18. I honestly don't think you should, because your brain's still developing, and you can't fuck with your brain because you are your brain. Like, when you think about it, everything you are is your fucking brain, I'm pretty sure. So it's crazy. I mean, then again, you can believe in a soul. I personally kind of believe in a soul. I don't know enough about it to really make a valid opinion on it, especially not a valid opinion to express over a podcast to people listening who could be influenced by it. But I'm pretty sure I believe in a soul. I definitely believe there's more to this world than we see. I don't believe that this life is just something that happened by coincidence and that we're here to live and fucking do whatever, and then just die and that's it. We go into nothing and we never ever experience any type of life ever again. I don't know what I believe. Obviously, I'm a Muslim by birth. I don't know how much I believe that in extremely, but I am a Muslim, and I am a Muslim at the moment, even though I don't necessarily believe everything that it comes with. I am a Muslim, and it's not that I don't believe it, it's just that I'm skeptical about it at the time, at the moment anyway. Not skeptical, I don't know how to put it. I'm just thinking about it a lot recently. It doesn't mean that I don't believe it. I'm just questioning it a lot recently, but that's just something, that's a personal matter that I'm just trying to deal with at the moment, trying to see exactly why I believe it and why I should believe it. And I'd love to believe it because it's an amazing religion in my opinion. I mean, as much as you guys probably disagree because of the way the media portrays the religion, Islam honestly it teaches peace and peace within yourself as well. And my whole years of being a Muslim, it's been good for me. It's not been bad for me. People are saying, oh, you're brainwashed. Oh, you're only a Muslim because your family are Muslim. Yeah, I am only a Muslim because my family are Muslim. I'm the first one to admit that. Now it's different. Now I have the brain power to think about why I'm a Muslim, and I could be anything and no one can stop me. I could go to my mum and dad and family. My mum's not a Muslim, but I could go to my dad and his side of the family and be like, listen guys, I want to be a fucking Satanist. I want to be, I don't know, an atheist or a Christian or a Jew or a Buddhist or a Hindu or whatever. I could do that, and they can say whatever they want, but no one's going to stop me from doing what I want because I am my own person now, and I'm 18 at the end of the day, so I can literally do whatever I want. However, obviously, I don't believe in atheism. I just don't. I can't, and this isn't even me just being influenced by my family. I think this anyway. I cannot accept the fact that this earth and this life that we live in just came around by pure coincidence. I will fucking refuse to believe that. I will accept any arguments suggesting that. I will listen to any opinions suggesting that. And if someone can convince me, please do your best, because I really want to. It'd be interesting to see what kind of arguments could suggest such things. And I know you got people like who's that guy? Who's that? Richard Dawkins, who's a massive fucking. He's the main atheist. He's like basically, if atheism had a god, he would be the god pretty much of atheism. Obviously, their whole religion is if it's a religion, is based around not believing in a god or a higher power or anything of that sort. He is the person who basically leads that. He's not, but he's the biggest advocate of it that I know of, and I refuse to believe it. And I think it's very close-minded. And I'm not ripping into atheists. I'm sure at least one of you is an atheist listening to this. Fair enough, you believe what you want, but I honestly think everyone. I just personally think, the way I look at it, honestly, and this is something that I heard from the Smith Plays, and this, but that's not what I'm saying. I believe it personally, and I have for a long time. Is who the fuck are we to say, to be so certain that there's nothing else in this world, in this fucking unbelievable, beautiful, crazy, amazing, just unbelievable world that we live in, this universe which is so unexplored to such a crazy extent. I mean, we know nothing about the universe. We know the planets in our solar system. You know, we got fucking, you know, we're sitting next to Mars. It's got to go the Sun, Mercury, I think it says Venus, Mars, Earth. Oh man, I used to know this. I used to know so much about space. Like, I used to love space. What is it? Sun, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Earth. There's another bastard, but I can't think of what it is. It's not Jupiter or Saturn. They're not next to Earth. It is. It's not Neptune. It's not Pluto, obviously. What's that? Is it Uranus? No, we're not next to Uranus. It might be a big planet. I don't know. It's irrelevant anyway. It might be Saturn, but I don't know. I really don't know. But I used to know it, but I don't know it anymore. Obviously, we know. Well, we think we know there's planets around us, but I'm pretty sure we know that there's these planets in our solar system in alignment with the sun, and if we know, apparently we know. Like, I'm not saying apparently as if I don't believe it, but I'm just saying we never know. Like, they maybe could get it wrong or something, but I doubt it. Obviously, we're pretty certain that we know temperatures on planets such as Mars or something. We've even sent fucking robots as far as, yeah, we definitely have sent like drones to Mars and shit like that to like get pictures and stuff. And we know quite a bit, like, when it comes to planets close to us, but in sense we know fuck all. Actually, no, not in a sense. We definitely, what am I even talking about? I'm talking shit. We know fuck all. Yeah, we know like the temperature on Mars. We know what it looks like. Which is amazing that we've done that, and I think it's incredible, and it just goes to show how far we've came. But we don't know fuck all. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. This universe is unbelievable. We've got fucking, I'm pretty sure it's in the trillions of, well, we don't know, but there's so many fucking stars, so many galaxies, so many, like I said, I don't know much about space anymore. I used to know quite a bit. I used to be such an advocate of, like, learning about space, and I used to think it's the most important thing. Like, we need to know about what is surrounding us, this universe that we know nothing about. And to me, it still is absolutely fascinating, space. But I'll tell you what's even more fascinating. Not even more, but just as fascinating. Maybe not just as. A tiny bit less, but also extremely fascinating. Is how much of the ocean we've not explored. Isn't it like 70... I might be wrong on this percentage, but isn't it like 70% of the ocean we've never explored in our life, in our entire existence that we know of anyway? Because you just can't. Like, the ocean goes so fucking deep that it's impossible to explore it as if you're swimming, because the pressure will just fucking wreck you. You need millions of pounds worth of, like, no, you need like a submarine that's worth so much, that has all this technology and all this stuff to stop it from crushing itself, to go deep. And I don't even know if that could reach the deepest of the deep. I honestly don't know. But I just know that like 70% of the ocean is unexplored. We know fuck all about our own planet. We know a lot about our own planet, but we know fuck all about the ocean, space, planets, alien life. There could be aliens. We don't know. I mean, there could be. I don't know what I believe. At one point, I used to 100% believe it. And then I thought about it a bit, and I stopped believing in it. And now I'm sort of believing in aliens again. I don't really know. Like, there's got to be some sort of form of life somewhere else. I really don't know. But honestly, there's so much we don't know, and yet you have fucking, oh mate, you got like fucking Barry down. No, I said Gary earlier. I'm gonna think of another name. You got Dan. No, not Daniel, because he's one of my subscribers. You got fucking Clive. You got Clive down the road, walking down the street, proud, fucking all this pride, man. Like, oh yeah, man, I'm amazing. I've got such a good life. I've got my own business. I'm fucking running the flower shop down the road. Oh yeah, it's fucking man, mate, making in the dough. Fucking yeah, can walking around, and he's like, oh mate, yeah, there's like God. There's no God. What are you on about? There's no higher power. No, we just come here, we go. I know this. Fucking, it's a fact. How can you believe in a God? You're brainwashed. Oh, the religion is just to control people. It's just to it's something they invented ages ago to control people. I know ages ago, religions weren't used to control people, but it's a bit different. But and I'm not necessarily just saying religion is correct. I don't know. What I'm saying is you can't be, Clive over here is a cunt and ignorant for saying and being so certain that there's no higher power, there's nothing that created us. And like I said, I'm still debating my relationship with my religion, Islam. I don't know if there's a God. I don't know, but I strongly believe there's a higher power, which is technically a God. A God is like a is the creator of everything we know. Depends what you want to define God as, but in my sense, a God is, in what I believe, or what I think is my perspective of it anyway, is something that just created fucking everything that we know of. And I believe something did. And I it sounds crazy to some of you maybe, because you've probably been brought up in an atheist family or something, and I know a lot of you are younger than me. Some of you are probably 11, and then there's some of you that are probably 18. There's some of you maybe even older, like 20, 25, I don't know. I'm sure I know some of you like 15, 16. I'm not really too sure about exactly all your ages, but I know I've got quite a variety of age, but I know a lot of you are younger than me. And you are most likely what your family are, or what you've been brought up to believe. And if you have a family that didn't even really talk to you about religion and that, then you probably formed your own opinion based on your friends or people around you. It's not your fault. It's when you're younger, you are very easily influenced, and you believe more or less what you've been told to believe, in a sense. Like, obviously, with a bit of leeway, you're not going to believe everything you've been told. Young people aren't that fucking influenced, but you will kind of just you will automatically believe what you've been brought into. Sorry, I'm fucking struggling to talk at the moment. I'm not too sure why. But you'll find as you get older, you'll start questioning, and that's good. Never just live. I don't like those people. Not I don't like them, but I don't agree with people who just live their life. Say for example, someone was brought up a Christian, for example. Nothing wrong with that, obviously. But say someone was brought up a Christian. When they're a baby, their mum and dad christen them, whatever. They get baptized when they're a bit older. And then as time goes on, they attend church. This kid is obviously going to be a Christian until he's like 17, 18, most likely. Maybe even earlier, they might decide to talk about it and discuss it and change their views. But they're pretty much, there's no other way, there's no way they can't be a Christian. They've just been brought up into it. That's the way it is. Throughout their life, they're Christian. They get to 17, 18, maybe 16. But I'm just going to stick around to 17, 18. Because that's when I started questioning it. And they'll start to form their own opinion. No, because we're talking about someone who doesn't. They get to that age, and they just carry on the same. They just, oh, yeah, I'm a Christian, I'm right, you're wrong. And I fucking hate it when people, I'm sorry, but I fucking hate it when people like that slay other religions and atheists and people and anybody and be like, fuck you, you're right, you're wrong, I'm right. Oh, why are you right? Oh, I'm a Christian because I believe in Jesus Christ, and Jesus Christ is my fucking saviour. And I attend church because I believe in praising the Lord. Oh, if be his name, fucking the Lord's Prayer. I'm not repping into Christianity. I'm just saying I'm pretending to be someone who is ignorant, and they say all this and they think they're so right, but when it comes down to it, the only reason, Clive, Clive is the atheist, the only reason, Jonathan, why you're a Christian is because you've been brought up into it, and you've not had you haven't had the brain fucking, how can you not question it, man? Like, it's ridiculous. And I'm not ripping into Christianity. I don't know if Christianity is right. I don't believe it is right because I'm a Muslim. But then again, I'm not even too sure if Islam is right. I'm not too sure what anything is. I don't know anything. How can you know? And honestly, how can you know? Maybe there is a way to know that I'm not sure of. I'm only 18. At the end of the day, I've got a lot of life to live unless I get run over by a car tomorrow or hit by a fucking missile or something. I don't know. Anything can happen. And I am rambling like a motherfucker. If I look at what we're like, shit me, man, we're 33 minutes into this and I haven't even started talking about my holiday, and I was going to talk about that a lot. But yeah, I just find it fascinating that people can, not fascinating, because I'm pretty sure that's like a positive vibe. I just find it crazy how people can just be so ignorant. Like, guys, when you get older, you're going to probably start questioning things, and that's good. Know that it's very good to question it, even if you start questioning, your mum and dad are like, why are you questioning it? Like, we're right, just believe us. You don't believe me? You don't believe me? I'm not telling you, Christianity is the way forward. You want to go to heaven? You got to fucking believe in Jesus Christ. No, question that shit, man. This you can't not question it, because if everybody believed what they were... Alright, so tell me this. You got Clive the atheist, Jonathan the Christian, and Max the Muslim, which is me. We all grow up and we don't question anything. We believe what we believe. Now, in Christianity, I'm pretty sure, I'm actually certain, that if you don't believe in Jesus Christ and the Lord the Savior, and that by the time you die, you go to hell, I'm pretty sure, for eternity. Because in Christianity, when you die, you go to hell for eternity. You don't There's no like, say you weren't as bad. Say you and Hitler, you're not too bad. Hitler was a cunt. Hitler goes to hell for eternity, and you go to hell for eternity. You get the same punishment, which is the way Christianity worked. With Islam, you both, I die, Hitler dies. Someone who's not too bad dies, and someone like Hitler dies. Hitler goes to hell for a very long time until his sins are cleansed, and then he goes to heaven after he's dealt a lot of time in hell or something like that. And then I go to hell just for less than Hitler until my sins are repaid, and then I go to, not repaid, until my sins are cleansed, and then I go to heaven. No one is in hell for eternity in Islam, I'm pretty sure. So everyone ends up in heaven in Islam, which is fair enough, I guess. I got people like Joseph Fritzl and that, who's just the biggest fucking scum person ever to exist. The guy who like had a daughter and he kept her down in his basement and raped her for like 30 something years. And I'm pretty sure he's dead now. He might be dead now. I'm not too sure, but he's a fucking disgusting person. But then you look at it he only exists, if there is a God, he only exists because God brought him into this world. So, is it his fault that he's a fucking psychopath? Because people are born with psychopathic tendencies and a psychopathic brain where they have no fucking emotion, they don't care about hurting people, they can sit and torture a baby, and they have no care in the fucking world. Is that their fault? They've been born with that. If I was born with no care in the world, and I killed a baby, and I tortured it and killed it in the most horrible way, yes, I'm a fucking horrible person, but is it my fault? Is it? Because I was born with it. That's pedophiles, for example. A lot of them, no, actually no, because it's pedophilia. And by the way, I'm not saying these people are good. They're cunts, but I'm saying it isn't their fault that they're born with such a fucked up brain that they're bound to do that. There's nothing they can do to stop it. In fact, they don't even know they've got it. They just know that they just know that they the way they see life is they do not give a fuck. So they kill these people. They do these things. And Joseph Fritzl rapes his daughter. But is it his fault? That's the question. That's why if there's a God, the way I look at it is, God brings someone into this world who has the ability to, I just want to see if that mic's fucking distorted anything. No, God brings someone into this world who has the ability and who has the pure drive to fucking be a cunt. Who wants to have a daughter, rape his daughter, have an amazing time raping his daughter for 30, 40 something years. Actually, I think it's like 27 years, I think, now that I think of it. I think the numbers just came back to me, but regardless, even if it was a day, it's fucked up. 30 years, then he dies and goes to hell. But he's going to hell for something that he had no control over. But then does he have control over it? I don't know. And I'm sure brain experts probably know this, but I don't know. It's just, I'm literally just rambling, guys. But I'm just saying. And I'm going to go back to my this is what pretty much this is based around, is don't be ignorant. If you're an atheist, that's fine. You do you. But I think it's very important to understand that we know fuck all, and it's just, to me, it just seems like, who the fuck are you? I'm ripping into atheists, but like, I feel bad because, I shouldn't rip into something that someone believes, and I'm not, but I at the same time, if you are an atheist that is like, yeah, I'm right, there's nothing else, there's fucking nothing, then actually, yeah, I am going to rip into you and say, how can you be so ignorant? Who the fuck are you? This is probably going to be dislikes for this, just for me saying this, but who the fuck are you to say that you are nothing? I'm sorry, you are nothing when it comes to the universe. You are, your life on this earth isn't even fucking a thing in the amount of time the universe has been around and how long it will be around for. Your existence is so irrelevant to everything. Your little life and your little flower shop that we fucking said, oh no, that's Clive, but your little, yeah, no, Clive is the atheist, your little flower shop and your little family, and you go to the fucking splashdown, your little water slides that you go on, and then you fucking get older, and you go to all these parks, and you know, you have your grandkids, you have your kids who also are fucking irrelevant to the universe, and you and your little irrelevant family, and your little irrelevant kids, and your irrelevant life, and your fucking irrelevant walking stick walking around at an old age, yeah. Oh, I enjoy my time on this earth, but it's time to say goodbye soon, because I'm going to die of fucking cancer or fucking schizophrenia, fucking a stroke or something that old people tend to die of. Dementia. I don't even know if you can die from dementia, but I'm gonna die of something very soon because I'm 89 years old and I'm fucked. My flower shop went very well, really sold a lot of flowers. I had a very good time on this earth, but it's time to say goodbye, guys. I'm gonna go into nothingness now. There's gonna be nothing else. That's it. My entire existence is over. By the time I die, everything that would have happened in my life, everything that I experienced is gonna be completely irrelevant to me because I'm gonna be dead. There's nothing else to even do once I die. That's it. We're gone. That's it. Blackness, nothing else. And then when you guys die as well, be sure there's nothing else in this entire fucking universe that we know nothing about, or even not even universe, but the dimensions that scientists are discovering and or have discovered ages ago even, and all this other all this shit that we don't know, yet you can be so fucking certain that there's nothing and that everything is what you see is what it is. Mate, just look at our brain, man. Look at us as people. We are unbelievable, man. We are crazy. And I know I just said we're irrelevant, but to us, and you gotta think, consciousness and self-awareness. How insane is consciousness? How insane is, like, what the fuck is consciousness? It's in your brain, obviously, but isn't it crazy to think that, like, we're alive, man? I don't know how to put it, and I'm talking shit. In my brain, I know exactly what I want to say, but I don't know how to put it into speech, but I know you guys know what I'm saying. But like I'm saying, Clive here, fucking, he's so certain that there's nothing else, and in my opinion, that's just fucking so disgustingly ignorant even. That's how far I'm gonna go. If you're so certain that there's nothing else in this world, and I 100% guarantee you there's nothing. You live, you die, it was all chance, that's it. It was all chance. I just happened to have this body, this perfectly formed body where I can completely manage my life for 90 years as long as nothing happens to me, with an immune system that evolved over all this period of time. But when I said that, I'm not denying evolution. Obviously evolution exists, but I'm saying, like, I don't want you guys to think that I was saying that it evolved, and that's bullshit. That's obviously not bullshit. Evolution is obviously right. But yeah, with this immune system that can fight off all these illnesses to keep me and my fucking irrelevant life protected until the day I die. But no, it's all just chance. It's just, that's just the way it is. My brain, my consciousness, the way that I'm able to know that when, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. When I fuck somebody, that my sperm is going to go into their vagina, and then, what's it called? Go into, I don't know what the actual word is, I fucking should know it, it's like, because of an F. Fertilize this egg, get inside this egg, create a life form, another life form, which is going to end up being like me, this little tiny fucking fetus started sperm, this little tiny bit of sperm, this little cell that you can't even, like, fucking see unless you look under a microscope. It's going to become a fetus, it's going to turn into some tiny ass baby, it's going to grow and grow and grow inside my fucking lover's or some crackhead's womb. Any female's womb is going to grow, it's going to grow, it's going to grow, it's going to grow till it's literally a fucking human inside their stomach who at the exact right time is able to come out and then become a baby, have a life, have a brain of its own, have a consciousness of its own, a personality of its own, and to have life itself is crazy, to have life, to have a heart that's going to beat and keep it alive, to have everything that it needs to survive, to grow and grow and grow till it becomes a child who's going to be its own person, its own completely unique person that has never ever existed in the fucking thousands of years that this earth has been around. This person has never existed before. It's a completely new person, and this happens every single day, thousands of times as far as I know. Because obviously people are born like every 10 seconds or something like that, or maybe even a lot less. It's going to grow, have its own life and then he's going to grow up and be like, oh yeah, fuck all this, that's fuck all, because Clive, my dad, he's fucking dead now anyway, but when he's going to get to 20 years old, 25, 30 years old, he's going to be like, Clive told me, nah. So no, someone's going to come up to Jason over here, and they're going to be like, so, what do you think about the world? Isn't it crazy that we live in a world where, we don't know anything about, and, what is life? Isn't it crazy that we're alive? What is this consciousness? And do you think we're here to do something? Is there a creator? Oh, fuck you all about, you crazy ass fucking ancient person. You're living in the old times now. It's 2016 now. We're still believing in fairy tales. Fuck off, mate. Clive, my father, my smart ass, not ignorant at all father, told me that oh yeah, well basically everything happened by chance, so you got to believe me here. I'm right, you're wrong. You fucking believe in fairy tales, and that's it. We're gonna grow old and we're gonna die, and that's it. That's nothingness. And then that same insanely crazy, perfect cycle of life is going to happen again when I'm older and I have a child, and it's going to keep going and keep going. It's going to keep our family going and keep our fucking bloodline going, our family tree growing, and that's it. There's nothing else to it. We live, we die, that's it. Everything in between is for our own experience and the people we affect around us. Doesn't even matter if you're an amazing person or a fucking terrible person. It's all irrelevant when you die. Yeah, it has an effect on the world, but everyone in that world is going to be dead within 100 years anyway, so it doesn't fucking matter. In my opinion, that's just ignorant, and fuck you, Clive, and fuck you, Jason, mate. Alright, that I went in, man. I know that probably sounded like a complete rambling bit of shit, but that is my complete thoughts on it. I honestly think if you are very ignorant if you believe that nothing, if you believe that, if you believe that you know that there's nothing and that's it. People that believe that just life is just, that's it. I can't get my head around it, man. But honestly, guys, we're like, what? Jesus fucking Christ, mate. We're 45 minutes into the podcast, and I haven't even started talking about Spain. And I probably should, because man, wow. We went in. I'm going to finish this off, but we went in. Holy shit. Wow, guys. Guys, like I said, I know fuck all, alright? My opinions and my perspectives on everything you should not take for your own. You shouldn't listen to what I say and be like, I'm going to believe that. You can, but it's important that you listen to what I say, take it into consideration, form your own opinion on it, your own perspective on it, research it, whatever. Not that you can really research this stuff too much. I'm talking about because it's more about life and death and that, and, you know, that's an opinion thing in itself. But, take my fucking shoes off. That's honestly what I believe, guys. And let me know in the comments what you think about that as well. But that's what I believe, guys. And I just don't see how anyone could be so ignorant to be so certain that there's nothing else in this world. And atheists are going to go ahead and dislike this. Do what you fucking want, mate. You believe, you're so certain that there's nothing, that this life is just, how can you be so certain that there's nothing that there's nothing, man. Oh man, it's pissing me off, mate. It's pissing me off. But that's the way I believe it. Everyone, you do what you do, you. As long as you're happy, I don't give a fuck. Honestly, even if you're sad, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about you. If like, not to you guys, obviously my subscribers, but I'm saying about everyone in this world. I don't care if fucking Jimothy over in fucking Sudan, or fucking, not just saying Sudan, like, because it's Sudan, in fucking China, in fucking, why am I struggling to think of countries? I don't know, Canada, for example. I don't care if he's happy or sad. I don't give a fuck. So you do you, honestly, man. If you want to be an atheist and you want to believe that there's nothing, if you want to be a strong atheist and believe there's absolutely no chance, and not even accept the chance that there could be something, or there could be some sort of creator, not even that, but the fact that there's more to life than what meets the eye, be my guest, man. I don't give a fuck. If you're my subscriber and you're with me on this channel and that, and I know you obviously I give a fuck about you. And it may sound like I meant that. It may have just sounded like I said I don't give a fuck about you. It's obviously not true. I obviously do. Like, for all my subscribers, you know that, like, I know you, etc. But I want about people around the world that I'm fucking digging myself a hole here. Basically, I just said that I don't give a fuck about you, but I wasn't talking to you. I was talking about this random person that I've never met in my entire life that I don't even know exists. That's what I meant, basically. Anyway, guys, we need to move on because we've been talking about this for a long time, a very long time, and it's all ramble, mate, but that's what the podcast is. And I hope you maybe learned something from that, or maybe took something from that, and maybe makes you think a bit more. Just know, guys, that there's so much more, and I'm not even on about more. I want about dimensions, guys. I want about, like, fucking quantum physics. I want about, like, all this kind of shit. Just look into it, man. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. The fact that there could be another dimensions, that the fact that there is these dimensions that we don't even know exist, and there's this gland in your brain that when activated, you can see things that like are there, but they aren't there. They aren't there, like they are there, and it is there, but it's not in what we know. It's not like something that light reflects off of, which is the only way we see things, obviously, because obviously light reflects off something, goes into our eye, we fucking see it. That's how we see, because imagery comes into our eyes from light, and I'm not going to fucking talk about it. You probably already know that anyway. And those things can be activated by psychedelics and stuff, and there's just so much more to life, man. And, mate, honestly, it's crazy, man. It's crazy, but I'm talking shit. And just, guys, one more time, I just want to say, I'm rambling, but take it how you will, guys. This is a podcast for me to just talk about shit, and I might listen to it, or I will listen to this back. And when I do, I might be like, Max, what the fuck? Like, what were you talking about? Because I know what I want to say, and I know the kind of what I want to get across, but when it comes to saying it, I'm not really well read, so I'm, like, not really good at, like, speaking in a understandable way, so I sort of just talk my mind, and it probably sounds like gibberish to you, but I don't know, it could be great, it could be not, I don't know. Anyway, guys, we really fucking need to move on. Yeah, I went to Spain on the 15th of July, and I came back on the 25th of July, and now I'm uploading, I only just started uploading yesterday, well, no, 2 days ago for you guys, but I only started uploading on the 3rd of August, so I have been away for a long time, and my Spain holiday lasted 10 days, obviously, 15th to the 25th, simple maths. I was away for 10 days, and during those 10 days, guys, crazy shit happened, I'm not gonna lie, especially one thing that was fucking unbelievable, which I'm gonna talk about, but I had a very good time. The first day, oh man, I keep hitting my mic, I need to get a shock mount for this, every time I hit it you don't even hear it, but you probably will hear that like a motherfucker. But let me just look at the Audacity one more time, just to make sure all the audio is okay. Yeah, it might be a bit quiet, I probably need to bump the audio up, but it's okay, we'll be fine. Let's see if the video is working fine, 51 minutes, yeah, it's all good, mate. I had an amazing time in Spain. The first 2 days, I was very ill, so I was literally in bed the whole time, and my mates were, like, having fun and doing all this shit, and I was just in bed, just dying, pretty much, and I wanted to go home, and I was like, fuck, I was so ill, man, and it was shit, it was really shit, but then I got better, and then I had a blast for the 8 days that were remaining. I had an amazing time, guys. There's some things that I can't really talk about, because I don't know if my parents are listening to this podcast, but, there's some things that, like, probably shouldn't really talk about. Nothing terrible. I'll probably stop talking about it. But there's lots of things you do with your mates on holiday or whatever, and that happened that were amazing. Not gonna talk about it. And then there was other things that we did that I can't talk about that were really good fun, guys. We went to one night we went to Neuer, and by the way, guys, fucking hell, what? I'm just digging holes. I'm making this like I did something crazy. The things that I can't talk about, it's nothing bad, it's nothing crazy. It's just I don't want to talk about it because it's just going to be an uncomfortable conversation with my parents that I'm not willing to have in case they're listening to this. I doubt they are, but if they are, I'm playing it safe. Okay? Anyway, moving on. One night we went to this place called Neuer, which is near Galicia. We went to a place called I don't know how to say it. Australia, Galifias, or something like that. Near Santiago in Spain, which is like in the north of Spain. And then we went to a place called Neuer, which I've never heard of before, but it's like this city sort of place. It's really cool. And we went there, like, sort of clubbing, like, one time, me and my mates, just for one night. There was this medieval festival, we went there, I had a few drinks and that, and then we were like, fuck it, we're gonna stay here and just go clubbing. And I got really fucked up. And there's this video that I took of us at this, like, concert that we must have bumped into. I don't remember most of the night. I do remember a lot of the night, but there's some parts I really don't remember. I don't remember, like, walking to this concert at all. But we came across this concert. There's this video of me just like with fucking filming, and there's these people singing this like really slow song, and me and my mates are all there just waving to it in Spanish as if we know what's going on, and everyone around us is just like, they're just standing there with their drink, having a good time, and we're there fucking going for it. Oh man, it's so funny. That was an amazing night. We had that night, there was some, I keep hitting my desk, there was some other nights we had that were really good, and every day was just fucking brilliant, guys. It's a really, really sick holiday. And then on the 2nd or 3rd, I think it's the 2nd to last day, we decided we were going to go to this waterfall. Now, there's this waterfall that my mate James and his brother Alex used to go to when they were kids, because obviously we went to Spain and we went to this house that my best mate's dad owns, but he wasn't there because he lives in, I don't know where he was. He might have been in England or he might have been in another country. I think he was in Switzerland. I think he's in Switzerland. Yeah, he lives in Switzerland, I think. Switzerland or Sweden, one of the S's. I think it's Switzerland. Yeah, no, he definitely lives in Switzerland, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, it's irrelevant. his dad has a house in Spain, which is why we went on holiday, because it's like, we could go to this house with no expenses, you don't have to pay for a hotel or anything like that, or anywhere to stay. So we're like, fucking yes, we'll take this opportunity. So 10 days in a house on our own, amazing. Anyway, they used to go there on holiday a lot, James, Alex, and their dad, and they know that there's this waterfall in this forest that we should go to, because it's amazing, and you can go swimming there, and it's this big waterfall, and it's just beautiful. So on the second, I'm just going to say it's the second to last day, we went there, we took a taxi there, and then we came across to the mouth of a forest, so this like opening into this massive fucking forest, and we were like, right, let's go. So we walked in, and James led the way because he knew the way, and it's about 2 hours into this forest. So imagine, and it's not just walking, it's like trekking. No, it's not even trekking. It's like climbing. It's like imagine this big ass stream and trees around it, and you just can't walk because there's so much shit and rocks or not shit like literal shit, but like so much rocks and trees and branches and all this shit, bushes and stuff that you got to go through. So it's not 2 hours of just walking; it's 2 hours of climbing, like fucking just getting through all these cracks. It's crazy, man. It was crazy. It was a really good experience, but it was very hard and sweaty climbing these rocks and stuff. Anyway. Quite dangerous even, like, walking, like, along the edge of, like, cliffs, that if you fall, you're dead, and stuff like that. Stupid shit, but crazy shit, and amazing shit. Anyway, 2 hours in, like, 2 hours and, like, 20 minutes into this fucking trek, we got to the waterfall. We were like, damn, man, that is nice. But there was a problem. By the time we got to the waterfall, we looked down, and we were like, shit, how are we going to actually get there? Because I don't know how to put it into perspective for you guys. And I would put a picture up, but I don't have, what's it called, man? I don't edit my podcast, so I don't want to put pictures up on my podcast, and I like to have it completely unedited. But guys, like, if you want, I'll probably put like the picture on Twitter or something like that. So go look at my Twitter actually, because they'll be up there. But there was this like waterfall, but there was this like cliffside, sort of, not like a cliff, but like a very high place. It's like a cliff almost. And we were like, shit, we can't get down. So we had to go, we got there, waterfall's here, and we got there up here. We were like, fuck, we have to go all the way back, about 20 minutes back around, because there's this place we could go down safely, and then come to the waterfall. So it's like a 30-minute detour to get to the waterfall, but it's safe. So me, James, and Lucas, and this girl called Sophie, we all went down and we did that. About 10-15 minutes later, my mate's brother and the others, this girl called Megan and this guy called Tigger, well, his name's Mikolaj, but we call him Tigger, they came along to the same place we were. By the time they got there, we were already down here at the waterfall, so they got to the top, and they were like, fuck, how the fuck are we gonna get down? Like, it's this big ass drop, and we need to either climb down this cliff, which is ridiculous, or we go back. So we shouted up, like, you need, because it's quite far up, we like, you need to go back, come back around, and then meet us here. So they were gonna do that until my mate's brother Alex thought it'd be a good idea to try and climb down the cliff to get to the waterfall. Now, he started doing it, we were like, what the fuck is he doing? Like, that's crazy. But then, at the same time, he's older, but his guy's like 22, 23, so we were like, you know, he's old enough, like, he probably knows what he's doing, just leave him to it. So I was there, getting my, like, top off and that, of course, because we were going to go swimming, getting, like, the trunks on and shit, and the trunks, oh, that sounds so shit, the trunks, get the swimming, no, I was getting my swimming shorts on and that, I was ready to go, I was like, yes, let's go, man, I was pumped, couldn't wait to jump into this beautiful fucking waterfall, this, like, massive lake sort of waterfall thing, crazy, man, honestly, it was a beautiful, man, the water looked amazing, I was like, yes, we're finally here, and you gotta imagine, we've just trekked for, like, 2 hours, so I was sweaty, I was ready to get the fuck in, my mate James was just, like, unpacking his stuff, about to get in. I was about 20 seconds from jumping in till I heard like a branch snap or I heard something crack. I looked around and I just saw my mate's brother Alex, who you gotta remember, who's massive. He's like, not massive in a fat way. He's a tiny bit chubby, but like he's like just one of those guys that's just big. And he's like 20 stone, I think he weighs. He's heavy as fuck. I just saw him ragdolling, falling through the air. I swear on my life, it was the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. Falling through the air, and he just cracks on this rock. He hits the rock like a sack of fucking bricks. He must have had like 2-3 seconds airtime. Doesn't sound like much, but imagine falling in the air for about 2-3 seconds. No, not 3. About, yeah, probably literally about 2 seconds airtime, and he cracks his face on this fucking rock. He bounces backwards, he's unconscious, completely out, blood running from his nose and his mouth. His lip was fucking cut completely open. He was fucked. At that point, after like looking at him for like a second, like what the fuck, in shock, I came around, I was like, oh my god. So we ran to him. His brother, James, obviously was fucking terrified. Obviously, his brother's, like, probably dead. So, James was like, right, like, he just sprinted for help. And you got to remember, we're in the middle of a forest. There's no signal. There's no way we're getting service. So he had to run back out the forest to get help, which is a trek. And I don't even know how he did it. Especially don't know how the fuck he knew where he was going, to be honest. But he did it. Anyway, so this happened. And we were like, damn, we sprinted over. Everyone was like, fuck, what do we do? He was unconscious. So basically what we did is, like, just simple sort of, like, what you learn in school and shit, and like what I've learned from my mum and that is when someone's unconscious, you either put them in recovery position or you hold their head. So we couldn't really move him because he's very fucking heavy. We couldn't really move him out the stream, so we had to have him like in the stream, but we were holding his head. We had a nurse with us as well. Sophie's like training to be a nurse. So she was like holding his head, and me and Lucas was sort of holding him up. We were just trying to keep him up because obviously we didn't want any blood to get to his brain and stuff. That's what Sophie was saying anyway. So she was really good. She was pretty much saved his life. If I'm going to be honest, he would have fucking died. And we were about 3 minutes in. He was unconscious. I honestly thought he was going to die. In fact, when I saw him drop, I was like, that's it. Who the fuck can survive that? That is unbelievable, especially at his weight. But apparently his weight probably saved him, like my mum said, because like it cushioned his fall or something. If he was skinny and that, he would have just broke on that rock or something like that. I don't know. So that happened, guys, and we all ran over. We're like, fuck, like we're gonna help him out, man. And yeah, we, about 3-4 minutes into his like unconscious fucking crazy ass whatever was going on, he woke up. He came around, and he came around very slowly, and he woke up, and he's like. He was choking on his own blood at one point, so we had to like make sure he didn't choke on his own blood, which is disgusting, man. I was like, fuck, like I don't know what to do. I did not know what to do really. I just did what Sophie was saying. I was just trying to hold him up. We couldn't even. He was so heavy, we couldn't even like drag him to the side. We did eventually, but it took us so long. And he came back around and he asked like, what the fuck? Like so I tell him what happened. I was like, mate, you've just had a fucking hell of a fall, mate. You're right. And he was like, what? I was like, you've had a hell of a fall, mate. He's like, I fell. I was like, obviously he was fucked up. His face is broke to fuck. He's broken like a vertebra. I'll tell you about it in a sec. Anyway, he was like, what? I fell. I was like, yeah, mate. He's like, from there? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, what the fuck? Like, he's like, I couldn't believe it. Obviously, for him, he, like, imagine that. You just, like, next thing you know, one minute you're falling, next minute you're waking up, like, probably in so much fucking pain. Imagine what, I can't believe what it must have been like for him to know that he just fell from, like, a fucking cliff. Anyway, and then he was like, what? And he was like, I fell. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, mate, you fell. And then he asked again about a minute later. It's like, what happened? I was like, mate, you fell. And he asked again and again, what happened? Like, his fucking brain was fucked. And I was like, shit, man, he's probably fucked his brain up, gave himself, like, some, like, memory problem or something. I don't know. He just kept asking over and over again. And I kept telling him. I didn't tell him that he kept asking because I would have sketched him out. And then about 10 minutes later, he had the power to sit up, and we got him up, and we just had to, like, slowly as fuck help him across. James managed to get help. A helicopter came along. There's, like, all these people ran into the forest, all these, like, medical people and these police people and shit, and these, like, villages nearby and stuff. They all came along, and they all came to help him, and then the helicopter ended up airlifting him from the fucking entrance of the jungle, the forest, once we got him out after, like, 2 hours or something like that, because we had to get him out fast. Because he was like, fucking, he needed like help badly. Got the helicopter apparently, and I didn't see it because we got took home because we shouldn't have been there. The guys, the ambulance and that didn't want us there. Like all the police people that didn't want us there because we were just extra people for nothing. We couldn't speak Spanish or anything, so we had to go. We went. Then apparently, according to James, he got airlifted back to the hospital by a helicopter. Took him to a hospital, and apparently he's broken a vertebrae in his neck. He's broken his eye socket. His lip's fucked. He's broken his wrist. Or fractured his wrist or something like that, and he's fucked himself up really. I would like show you guys, but that's a bit disrespectful and it's not right. So he doesn't look good, but he's getting better apparently. James said he's like lucky to be alive, and he is lucky as fuck to be alive. But that was insane, guys, honestly. So the holiday was unbelievable, but that was an experience that I don't think I'll ever forget. That was the craziest shit that I've ever been put through in my life. It was unbelievable, guys. And yeah, he's still in Spain now with his family. They had to go over there, and obviously his mum went over to Spain to see him and take care of him and stuff. And yeah, crazy fucking shit, guys. I can't believe he survived it. He's very lucky to be alive, but in all, guys, it just goes to show, be safe. If If you have the opportunity to spend 20 minutes of your life to go back around and take a safe route or climb down a fucking cliff face, take the 20 minutes. Just always take a safe option, guys. Be careful, because it's weird to think that at any point you can die. You can literally die at any given point in your life. You could die right now. You could have a stroke, a heart attack. I could die right fucking now and you'll never see this video. Guys, it's possible. You're never safe. You're never completely safe. You can always die. Just be careful. Be as careful as you guys can. You want to live life to the fullest, I know. And yeah, I'm an adrenaline junkie as well. And I want to do crazy shit. I want to jump out of a plane. I want to go bungee jumping. I want to go fucking do all this crazy shit. And I know it's going to risk my life, but... So I'm probably a bit hypocritical to tell you guys to be safe. But don't be safe to the point where it's going to be like... What I'm saying is, don't be safe to the point where it's going to, like, stop you from doing things that are fucking amazing. But if you have the opportunity to do the same, to get to the same location, but it's going to take an extra 20 minutes or climb down a fucking cliff face, be smart and just take the safer option, guys. Pretty much what you can learn from that. It was a crazy experience. It was fucked up, and he's lucky to be alive. And the whole thing was crazy. And I wish I could sort of portray exactly how crazy it was, but through words, but you just can't. You need to be there to experience it. Seeing someone drop and crack on a rock like that, I saw the whole thing. He landed on his fucking face, man. He landed on his fucking face, mate. Craziest shit. Craziest shit. But anyway, guys, how long are we into this podcast? Because this has been long and my voice is getting fucking tired and I'm getting tired. We're an hour and 5 minutes in. There's some other shit I really wanted to talk about, but I think I'm going to leave it at that. I'll probably save that for the next podcast. Because obviously I like to make this about an hour long or something. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I've had a lot of fun recording this. And I'm glad I've done it, because podcasts, they're really hard to start. Because you're like, fuck, I'm going to sit down for an hour and talk. But once you start, you really get into the rhythm and you feel great. And I feel amazing that I've done it. And it's been a fucking awesome podcast, I think. It's been a fucking fat ramble. But it's been an awesome podcast. So guys, what you can take from this is don't be ignorant. Think about life just a bit more than you have, because there's so much more to life than you fucking even know. And that's a fact. There's obviously so much more to life than we know. So don't be so ignorant to just be straight up like, oh, nothing, that's it, we live, we die, that's it, everything's by chance. I just think that's ignorant, but that's me. Listen to the Joe Rogan Experience podcast. It's unbelievable, and you'll learn a lot, and it's incredible. Each episode's like 3 hours long, something like that. Sometimes some are even 4 or longer. Currently, I'm listening to the one of Duncan Trussell, which is the one which is at the moment is the most recent one, but I don't know if he's uploaded one, because I think he uploads like every day or something like that. Listen to them, listen to a few of them, they're unbelievable. I suggest, if you want my recommendation, listen to his Twitter Q&A. It starts very slow, because he's like answering 1 or 2 boring ass questions, but then he answers one question about some paradox that I can't remember, and he just goes off on one for about an hour and a half, and he talks about everything, and it's unbelievable. So you should listen to that, the Joe Rogan Experience, the Twitter Q&A. The first part's boring, but as soon as he gets asked about this paradox, something paradox, I can't remember what it was called. Just strap yourself in, mate, because that gets deep. Listen to that. Listen to the one with Duncan Trussell. The latest one of Duncan Trussell. It's amazing. Listen to that. I'm currently listening to that, and it's incredible. Listen to the Smith Plays podcast. No, you don't have to. That's honestly, it's nothing compared to the Joe Rogan Experience, but in my opinion, it's really, really good. So I'd say listen to that. To me, it's just as good, but it's different, but listen to Smith Plays, whatever. Go check out Drew's podcast, Drew's podcast. He hasn't uploaded one in a while, but definitely uploaded one since I've uploaded one before this one. So definitely go watch that. That's really interesting, and he's getting better and better at it as he goes. And in fact, the latest one the latest one that I know of, he was like talking about politics and that, and it's actually he's fucking he knows quite a bit. So go check him out, because he talks about some good shit in that, and I think it's a really good podcast, so definitely go check that out. JT Gaming's just uploaded a podcast. He's just started, so obviously it's going to be a bit rough, etc., like I was, and like Drew was, or like anybody is when they first start something, but he's only going to get better and better, and it is still a good podcast, so make sure you go listen to JT Gaming's podcast, guys. I hope you enjoyed this, guys. I know I rambled on for a lot, but, you know, don't take drugs, kids. That was such a weird start to the podcast where I was just basically saying take drugs. No, I'm not saying that, and I don't take drugs, but, well, I do. I take caffeine and alcohol and shit like that and whatever. But, yeah, just, do what you will with that. But if you're underage, don't touch anything, please, because it's not good for you. Don't be smoking weeds and stuff. And I don't know where you live, but you're probably gonna be exposed to weed a lot. I was a lot. So just be careful. But yeah, legalize weed. That's another thing that I believe in. Legalize all drugs, which I'm slightly verging to believe in. Definitely psychedelics. I don't know about all drugs though, but whatever. Anyway, we've already talked about all that shit. So look, I'll continue the discussion in the comments, guys. Leave comments. I'll reply to all comments as always. But in the podcast, I'll reply in depth. So if you want to leave a comment and have a conversation, I will reply to all comments. I have the time. I'm gonna do it. We'll smash it in the comments, guys. We're gonna have a fat conversation. Hope you enjoyed, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please support the podcast by leaving a like, leaving a comment if you want to create discussion, if you have anything you want to talk about, or any questions, or any disagreements, or agreements, or anything you want to talk about in the comments, leave it there, guys. If you're new to the channel and you like what you see and you want to see more of these podcasts, let me know. Make sure you subscribe if you're new, and I love every single one of you, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.